DAHL Shorts, inspiring ideas for using tech in the arts and humanities. Welcome to the Digital Arts and Humanities Lab in the Arts faculty at the University of Warwick. The DAHL investigates the use of digital tools and techniques to enhance and extend the capabilities of students and academics, now and in the future. Our aim is to inspire imaginative work, bring people together, and to narrow the gap between ideas, implementation, and impact. We believe in the power of the arts, our community of students and academics, to use their critical and creative powers to change the world for the better. Developing an arts and humanities approach to technology is key to this. In this week's short session, DAHL Director Dr. Robert O'Toole will introduce the Spring 2025 programme of events, the framework around which the sessions are based, and our theme for the term, being a digital native in the arts and humanities. Over to you, Robert.
Thanks, Lily. Nice intro. It was good to hear you use the phrase, the power of the arts. That's a theme we are developing more widely in the faculty this year. In fact, we have a day of events to explore and celebrate it, specifically designed for students on the 29th of January. Now, we hear a lot in the media from commentators and politicians about the importance of science and technology, and often directly or indirectly denigrating the arts. And I've worked with many great innovators in software development, design, and most recently virtual reality and AI, and many of them are actually arts graduates who have an edge over others in their fields because they are more imaginative, more empathetic, more able to interweave knowledge and practices from different backgrounds and cultures. They have a curiosity about what is possible, but are happier working with the inevitable ambiguity and uncertainty that innovators encounter. The arts are good for that. And on top of that, they're great collaborators, which really matters. Now, but I don't want to amplify the mistaken idea that you have to be some kind of super special person to be that innovative, to have great impact. And this idea of the digital native is still quite powerful. The idea that some people are just natively whizzy, super digital by default, and are the ones who will own the 21st century. We know that's not true. My work with great innovators tells me it's not true. So that idea of the digital native has been widely rejected by specialists, by people who've researched this. But the thought that we can get to a point at which we are entirely comfortable with new technology, able to grasp its potential and apply it well, is still worth holding onto as a goal. I think that we need to aim for that as being collectively digitally native together, as a community supporting each other in developing our digital curiosity. And that's what I want DAHL to do. So I'm redefining this challenge as, how can we be digital natives together? How can we develop our community as digitally native? Even how can we develop our space as digitally native? And most importantly, to achieve that, how can we find ways to simplify the many challenges that we face in using technology? And that's what DAHL is all about. And I'm inviting you to join us on that journey. And when I say us, I mean the DAHL team and the extended community of DAHL contributors we already have. That's me, Dr. Robert O'Toole. I'm originally and still am a philosopher. I got interested in the possibilities of technology and academia when I was an undergraduate at Warwick in the last century. A long time ago. And this is Yoon, the DAHL coordinator. He's a bit younger than me. He's a PhD student. Yoon is actually a scientist, but he recognises the power of the arts. And that's why he's sneaked over from WMG to work with us. And popping up occasionally, we also have Bing here, who's a faculty director of student experience. We have two other faculty directors of student experience, and that's Sasha and Reese. And you'll see them around occasionally as well. So you can find out more about Bing by listening to my interview with her for our We Are Fab People podcast, which is a podcast series all about the amazing, inspirational people we have in the arts faculty at Warwick. There'll be lots of those this term. We're doing a lot of podcasting this year as well, so you can learn about how we make our podcast in next week's short presentation, which is absolutely revelatory. So we have very quickly gone from needing big, expensive equipment, a studio, things like that to do podcasts, and AI-enhanced tools have made it possible for us to do amazing, high-quality podcasts anywhere with basic equipment, like a phone. So, An Earful of DAHL is another of our podcast series. The first episode features an interview with you, and we'll be having lots more of those as well. And we're hoping to start up more podcast series on other topics through the year and help lots of other people. So if you have an idea for a podcast series, then talk to us, come to the session next week, find out how to do it. And we'll be talking to many more members of the DAHL community, and you can read about them, some of them, on our DAHL Hall of Fame webpage, and more about that later on, and how you can get onto the Hall of Fame. So in our podcasts and all our work, there are 3 characteristics we are especially interested to hear about. Notice that technology isn't directly mentioned in all of these. These are the things that underpin our ability to use technology effectively, to do amazing things with it. So those 3 things are collaboration, curiosity, and care. The 3 C's. I apologise if that sounds a bit too neat, but it does work. Okay, and this is based on my research and my long experience working in this field, talking to experts from lots of different aspects of technology use. So I think that with some expansion of the detail, the 3 C's can redefine what we mean by being digitally native, and hence guide us in developing our capabilities as individuals and as a community. Now, we could also add confidence as the 4th C. Okay. And later this term, I'll be interviewing Keith Bloomfield, a media and creative industries expert at Warwick, about how, in a tech-dominated world, we need to develop confidence in our own judgment and values so as to be able to go beyond predictable algorithms. Okay. Technology is becoming much more powerful in our lives, and we need to be able to keep trusting our judgment. I think that kind of confidence comes from cultivating the 3 C's, collaboration, curiosity, and care. And if we support each other in collaborations, if we have curiosity to go beyond the obvious, and if we care for each other and the world, if we apply good ethical thinking, we can be more confident. Okay. And we can be more digitally native as a community in a good way. Now, here's an example of a successful collaboration I helped to set up. A policeman, social workers, VR experts, and Warwick grads created a series of highly impactful virtual reality films shown in schools and colleges. In each film, a small group of women simply sit in a comfortable living room, a very natural environment, and talk about their experiences. And when we played this to audiences, each in their VR headsets, we could see from their sympathetic body language how engaged they were in the reality of the experience, literally leaning in to the conversation, smiling and looking shocked. This was only possible with a combination of storytelling and performance skills coming from our arts graduates, technology, and an understanding of the reality of life. A great collaboration. But how did this start? So a few years back, a visionary policeman in the local Warwickshire force, Paul Calvert, was struggling with the challenge of educating young men about the real impact of everyday misogyny. He was also curious about technology and came up with the idea of using VR to create more empathy. So I put Paul in touch with Catherine Allen, Fidstead as graduate and leading VR expert, and Devon Allcote as a psychologist who's researched VR, and whose own curiosity had led them to independently develop world-leading expertise on virtual reality. So we then found a local company, River, who had already developed a new approach to filming and screening VR films to large numbers of people, and together, all of those people got together following their technological curiosity and made it happen. Okay, but don't forget the last C, care. In any collaboration, this is essential. Really, really important. Collaboration is hard. We have to look after people. When using new technologies, we need a deeper understanding of potential impacts. Quite clearly, some of the people in charge of the big technology platforms of today really don't have that. So in a project like this, project that could have a great positive impact, but also the danger of negatively impacting already traumatized people, we have to be especially careful and caring. The arts graduates on the team were key to ensuring the ethical dimension was cared for at all times. Oh, also, there's a fourth C I forgot, which sort of breaks the nice rule of free simplicity of the formula, so we'll mention it quickly and move on, and that is comedy. And we should have fun with technology and make fun of it. Last year we did a fun but fascinating session considering if AIs will ever be able to do stand-up comedy. That was really interesting. It was very enjoyable. We had a stand-up comedian who's also an expert on technology and researches comedy to discuss that. We had a bit of fun, but also it told us a lot about the relationship between humanity and machines. And then we ran some provocative satirical slides on the screens around the fab about AI. So lots of people looking at these, laughing, people standing there taking photos of them as well, which is obviously very impactful. So comedy, laughter, fun is a great way to get through to people. Always make time for fun.